Ghost of Tsushima is an open-world game where you play the role of a samurai in the island of Tsushima during a Mongolian invasion. Faced with overwhelming odds, you start going down a path that goes against your samurai ways, vanquishing your foes by all means necessary, be they honorable or not. Throughout your journey, you'll get to see a beautiful rendition of the island of Tsushima, explore its many mysteries, meet colorful characters, and confront the foreign invaders in a constant struggle between doing what is right and what is actually needed to save your home. Now, this is usually where I would tell you the average length of the game, but in the current build, that information isn't really available anywhere, and I completely lost track of time while I was playing the game. The hours just kind of flew by me. My best estimate is that if you beeline the main story campaign, you're probably looking at about 40 hours, maybe less. But if you at least complete relevant side quests, and you should because they're really good, you're probably looking at double that time. And this is not including all the different side activities available in the map. There are a lot of things to experience in Tsushima, and I would really advise players to take their time and do the character side quests. They are very well done and provide a lot of depth to these characters who will be your companions in the main quest. They also provide you with more opportunities to explore different sections of the island, which has beautiful vistas and is incredibly immersive. Ghost of Tsushima is a visually striking game. There's a reason why the game's HUD is minimal, and there's an in-game option which reduces it even more. It's because this rendition of the island of Tsushima is absolutely stunning. The vibrant colors, the waterfalls, the temples, the forest, almost any location in the island can lead to amazing screenshots. It's incredibly immersive and very easy to lose track of time while simply riding around and taking in the scenery. The dynamic weather changes also reveal how different the world can look between a sunny afternoon or an evening thunderstorm. The attention to detail was impressive. The way the tall grass sways in the wind, the leaves falling from the trees. I'm actually surprised my PS4 Pro didn't explode with all these particles. The characters also look very good, particularly during cutscenes, and the animations are solid all around. The katana hits feel very satisfying, particularly when your blade gets stuck during the killing blow on an enemy, and your character actually has animations to free his blade before he returns to combat. If I wanted to pick anything in regards to visuals, it would have to be that in certain sound is also solid, from the clashing of katana to the horse hooves clopping on the ground, the explosions, and even trees shaking in the wind or creaking as you take a stroll through a forest. It all sounds just right. The voice acting is solid. I played the English version since the game was developed by a Western studio, but you do have the option for Japanese audio should you desire. The soundtrack was impeccable, knowing when to stay in the background and when to jump to the forefront at critical moments, reinforcing the sentiment this story was presenting at the time. Also, I like the fact you can play your flute and change the weather. It's a nice touch. I played my flute all the damn time. Ghost of Tsushima is the story of a samurai who valiantly charges into battle against overwhelming odds and gets crushed by an enemy who not only greatly outnumbers him, but is also not burdened with the weight of honor. Upon this defeat, he is forced to witness as the beautiful island of Tsushima he calls home is brutally ravaged by the Mongol invaders. As a side note, I actually think a big reason why they present such a romantic rendition of Tsushima, incredibly beautiful and pristine, is precisely to get the players to care for the island itself, and to want to protect it from the foreign invaders who have no respect for the land and its customs. But going back to the story, as our protagonist is faced with these events, he starts going down a dark path. If our enemies have no honor, they deserve none in return. And the main plot reveals itself to ultimately be the struggle between remaining an honorable samurai, facing your enemies head-on, or becoming an agent of darkness, murdering your enemies when they are at their most vulnerable, striking from the shadows like a ghost. As you can imagine, there's a lot more to it than that, but I'd rather leave the rest for you to discover as you play the game. And I'm not being restricted by any embargoes in regards to this discussion. I could tell you a lot more about the story, but I'm choosing not to, because I believe it will diminish your enjoyment of the final product. Personally, I greatly enjoyed the story of the game. In some sections, I found myself getting a little teary-eyed, while in others I actually voiced my own battle cry as I charged to battle against the Mongols, because the narrative resonated that well with me. That's not to say it will be the same for everyone, since, everyone has their own narrative tastes. I would mention again, the side quests are very good at providing additional depth to the characters you interact with during the main campaign, and even the island itself. So I would advise against beelining the main story, since you will miss out on a lot of good content. Ghost of Tsushima's gameplay isn't exactly groundbreaking. It follows a lot of the same rules as standard open world games. You can explore the world, engage in side activities, which further the progression of your character by granting you gear, stats, or skills. These activities can range from something as simple as following a fox to a shrine or writing a haiku to taking out Mongol camps, or even dynamic events that can take place as you roam the countryside. Arguably, the dynamic events don't have that much variety, but it's still an excuse to yai-slash a couple of Mongols as you travel through Tsushima. You'll advance the story campaign by completing scripted missions with multiple objectives, combat, and cutscenes. As with all open-world games, there's a wide variety of collectibles you can find throughout the world, and there's even a special armor set unlocked very early on that helps you find these collectibles more easily, for the completionist types out there. All in all, there's a nice variety of activities you can engage in all around Tsushima that should keep you busy for a good long while. So let's take a look at the combat. Now, things start off simple enough. You have a fast attack, a heavy attack that can be charged, the dodge, and the block, which is also a parry if you block right as you're about to get hit. But as your character kills Mongol leaders, you'll start unlocking stances, which become a key element in combat since each stance is designed to work better on certain enemies. The stances completely change your attack animations, and being able to swap them on the fly in the heat of battle will become your bread and butter as you advance through the game, since they start throwing a greater variety of enemies at you. But this is the way of the samurai. Honorable combat, the clashing of steel and a duel of skill until that steel meets flesh. There are, however, other ways to engage in combat. As you progress, you'll also start unlocking ghost tools, such as deadly kunais, sticky bombs, black powder bombs, smoke bombs, and more. These can give you an upper hand when you're overwhelmed. They may not be honorable, but then again, neither are the Mongols. You'll be able to engage in combat from stealth, like a ghost, striking from the shadows before your enemies even realize you're there. But interestingly enough, the ghost is not just about stealth kills and remaining in the shadows. It is also about the use of theatrics to strike fear into the heart of your enemies. When you embody the ghost, think of it as a Batman that has no problems with killing his enemies. But that's all I'll say about the Ghost for now. Hit the like button if you did not enjoy this video, hit the dislike button since feedback is important. Feedback which you can also leave in the comment section down below. If you usually enjoy my content, subscribe and hit the bell notification icon, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe, sayonara.